Yeah, the title we've got there is awfully long, and really to summarise what it is, it's what I've called Vision 2030, which is fundamentally about removing the road worker from working on or alongside the road carriageway. And if we put a wee bit more sort of meat on that bones, it's trying to take all the various innovations, the various continuous improvement as we as individual companies are doing, bringing it together with that common goal of removing the road worker. If we remove the road worker, all the other efficiency, people, other improvements will flow from that. But it is fundamentally removing our operatives from harm on the carriageway. So many speakers here today have talked about the technological revolution, the way digital will transform our sector. And yet, as I sat here earlier, speakers from Highways England, Sean Pidcock, talked about the way that productivity in our sector has not improved in the last 25 years. You know, as I look around the room at sort of friends from this sector, how many of you are still doing the same things that we did 25 years ago within highway maintenance? And yet so many other sectors have dramatically improved. Take that further, listen to Jim O'Sullivan speaking earlier about the tremendous investment, capital investment coming into our sector, an increase of 30–40% on RIS 2 to RIS 1. And yet, speak to our local authority clients about their resource budgets, where 75% of the resource budget is being spent on thousands, if not maybe only 10,000 people, because of the social requirements for local authority. Huge investment capital, little revenue, as we know, and yet our customer expectations are only getting higher and higher. I use Waze for navigation absolutely everywhere, expect it to be accurate, on time, and expect to know what the problem is. It's just the norm of our expectations. And yes, the digital future looks tremendous. If you listen to Elliot Shaw speak in the main hall earlier around what the roads of the future could look like, all of us want a piece of that. All of us want to be there. The problem we face in highway maintenance and some of the construction activities is we've got our people out there on the road today working in an environment where we don't have autonomous vehicles. We're dealing with an environment where we have our people at risk. And if I bring that absolutely home, within AME, we've had 5 IPV strikes in the last 12 months or so. That's 5 vehicles have struck our own vehicles. They've resulted in injuries to every single one of our operatives in those IPVs, which is over 200 days injury. And be very clear, the physical injuries heal far quicker than the mental injury. And if I look around, you know, some of my colleagues, friends from other organisations, undoubtedly, every single minute of every day, we have a road operative and an IPV sitting stationary on a live carriageway lane every single day. How can that be right? Our safe systems of work will tell us that's what we need to do. Chapter 8 tells us that's what to do. But I can't ask my 2 kids, 17 and 15-year-old, to go to a job on highway maintenance to then put them into a vehicle to be sitting in the motorway waiting to be hit by another vehicle. Could you ask your kids to do that? So how is that right? When you look at the other statistic, the AFR for construction v maintenance, there wasn't many years ago, it used to be the other way around. Construction has taken huge steps forward in improving safety for its workers, and yet in the maintenance field, we've stagnated. We have not moved forward. Yet collaboration is possible. One of the most proudest projects I actually worked on, one which I always look back on as one of the best things I was involved in, was our work to remove carriageway crossings for our traffic management, and I'm going to come on to that. Keeping our people safe is what it's all about. Each and every one of us, if I look around this room, is absolutely committed to making their people as safe as possible. But we're all doing it individually, absolutely doing it individually. Are we focusing on the same common goal, the same absolute focus of removing our people from working on or alongside the road carriageway? And really what I'm saying under Vision 2030 is, can we all not focus on that same common goal with the improvements we'll then get out of productivity, people, and customer by having that same common focus? And so I'll come on to the carriageway crossings, which was a great example of just that. It's hard to believe, I'm going to have to press a button. Yeah. It's hard to believe only a few years ago this was acceptable practice. The standards said that for every road crossing, we had to put our people to cross a carriageway 6 to 8 times per closure. That was a common practice. And yet, in August 2010, a road operative from Chevron was struck by a vehicle and killed. A number of us in this sector said, you know what, it might be the safe system of work, it might be the standards, it might be Chapter 8 requirement, but we said enough's enough. People like Kiers, Amy, Balfours, the TM contractors, HTM, Chevrons, we all invested. Working with TRL, we put mini cameras on all the road signs, we used psychologists to look at driver behaviour, and we demonstrated you did not need to have these signs in the Central Reserve. We took 1 million carriageway crossings out a year. 1 million times somebody crossed a live carriageway. But here's the thing, and this is what makes me think very hard about Vision 2030. We took people away from crossing the carriageway, but also we increased the working window, because we actually meant we got the traffic management out 30 minutes quicker at the start of the shift and about 25 minutes at the end of the shift. So we gained virtually an hour on a 6-hour, 7-hour window. Productivity dramatically improved. Organisations such as Kiers and others, then the 1,000-ton project, were able to dramatically improve the maintenance we're carrying out in those closures. So it can be done. Safety drove it. Productivity was what was actually we got at the back end of it. So if I break it down into where I see the future for us. Talking about safety, first of all, the fundamental here. I'm absolutely delighted that strategic authorities such as Highways England, Transport Scotland are putting significant innovation funding up for organisations to have a go at doing something different. So within AMI, we've just been awarded a £1.5 million grant. That's £1.5 million for research and development to create a new IPV. We can't do this on our own. We need to work with COLAS on their automated IPV. We need to work with the TM companies, Chevron and the likes, on an automatic cone laying machine. But what we'll eventually get is a methodology for putting out traffic management that does not involve a single person on a well of a TM vehicle, standing on the carriageway or on the flatbed of the carriageway. Huge, dramatic improvements potentially in safety. But safety is the driver. What's the other offshoots? To people. If we look at our sector, again, earlier speakers here talking about the diversity and the challenges of diversity in our sector. The type of individuals we'll need in this digital revolution, our frontline operatives, are going to be different. Within the highways maintenance sector, half of the workforce will retire in the next 10 years. Half the workforce will have gone. So we need people coming in who are technologically savvy, able to use the drones we talk about there. You know, in the Forth Road Bridge in Scotland, we are using drones and LiDAR to undertake the inspections as we speak today. We're not using people on ropes anymore. The type of people we need to be very different. Fantastic. That means we can attract people who can work part-time, who don't have to work night shift, who don't have to have the physical strength to carry signs and other material. That means we can have a better diversity in our workforce and one that better represents the communities we serve. So that safety focus, removing people from the carriageway, will dramatically improve the diversity of our workforce as well. We talk here a lot talking about obviously continuous, CAV vehicles, autonomous vehicles. How are they going to be powered? Sure, we can use fast chargers for cars, but what about LGV and HGVs? How are we going to charge them? We're going to have to actually end up charging along the carriageway as we go. So we're going to have to learn how we can make massive improvements to the road infrastructure so we can charge vehicles. What can we learn from other sectors? In the little graphic here, it's drawn an example from Amy's work with Network Rail. We've created a train. It's a 23-car train, costs about £25 million. And every night for the Great Western Railway, this train will come out. The first 4 carriages will do the piling. The next 4 carriages will do the foundations and the masts. The next 4, all the catenary. And then the last section, the wiring and all the connections. Every night this train comes out and electrifies a linear asset. Electrifies a linear asset. What are we going to have to do in the highways? We're going to have to electrify a linear asset. That train every night comes in and out. It has double the productivity. It does about a mile a night. That's the type of thinking we're going to have to bring in the maintenance sector and in the construction sector to make the roads fit for the future. And then finally, on to the customer. If you actually look at all our systems, we have what changes have we made in the last 20 years about how we inform our customers? Very little. And yet organizations like Amazon have come from nowhere, and they're tremendous at telling you when you're going to get your package, you get it, and you're told it's been delivered. What is stopping us in our sector having a customer-centric ethos? One where we can have adult-to-adult conversations with the customer, we empathize, we're authentic. And where I really so want to go with our customer systems is each and every provider has our own systems. Can we bring it together so you and I as consumers, the end user, can get the information in a similar format as, say, Amazon, regardless who generated that data? And it is an industry call to arms, because we're all competitive about trying to say how we can do things differently. What about actually saying how we can do things together to provide the customer with the same source of information? So if we bring all this together, absolutely, each and every company in this room, from Ringway to Costains to Kiers to Balfours to Amy, can do this individually. The clients, Transport Scotland, Highways England, and the local authorities can do this individually. But if we can bring this together, we can make dramatic improvements fundamentally to the safety of our workforce, but it has the tremendous offshoots of customer-centric organisations. We actually have a diverse organisation that better represents our community, and we address that efficiency question, which speakers stood up here this morning and went on again and again and again about the challenge of the poor efficiency in this sector. So it is putting automation at the heart of what we do, creating that diverse workforce, and pooling our resources. We all have limited R&D budgets. So by 2030, we never have a single person working on or alongside the carriageway. And really, to summarise, it's great talking all that big macro picture, what a difference we can make. But never forget the impact on everyone's families a single incident has. Our road workers are out there every night. Are they coming home safe and well to their families? And we should never lose sight of that's why we're doing it. Competitive, is that helping us? Or collaborative advantage could be the difference we make going forwards. Thank you very much.